just explain what Ehevorbereitungsverfahren is. The Ehevorbereitungsverfahren is the administrative part where you bring your documents and they process everything and they do their research to find out if everything that is on the document is true, and if everything is okay, then you can go ahead and get married. So it's more like asking for permission in a way, like, oh, can we get married? Because if you don't have the correct documents, then you won't get married. Lucas. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video we're going to talk about the Ehevorbereitungsverfahren. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit I might shift my head onto this side because my son is here. Congratulations on your engagement. That you have clicked on this video, it means you are now ready to maybe start the process of getting married here in Switzerland, and I just want to congratulate you. Cheers. So in this video I'm going to talk about the whole process of preparing to get married here in Switzerland. Before you get married in a church or any other private ceremony, you have to do the civil wedding, because that is the only wedding that is recognized by the government in Switzerland. So this whole process is called Ehevorbereitungsverfahren, and I'm going to talk about Aarau because I live in Canton Aargau. If you've ever been married before and you're separated but not divorced, you cannot get married in Switzerland. I think that's all over the world. You can't get married when you're separated. You have to get divorced for you to get married. In Switzerland, you cannot marry your adopted sibling. So let's just get that out of the way. I am a Kenyan and my husband is German. We got married last year. You will have to go to your Ziviltrauung in your area where you live. So if you live in Baden, you go to Baden. I think if you live in Wettingen, you go to Wettingen. Every canton has its own rules and regulations, but they are all similar. Maybe they might differ a little bit here and there, and maybe just one document more, or maybe they require one thing more than the other canton or Gemeinde, but it should be the same. Call the Zivilamt and make an appointment. Of course, they're going to invite you and the husband to be, or if you're the man who is calling and booking for an appointment, they're going to invite you and your future wife. And when you're there, they're going to ask you for your Ausweis, and after they'll take your Ausweis and then they'll just type into the PC. Depending on where you come from, they're going to print out a list of all the documents that you're supposed to bring. These documents have to be, when you give it to them, they have to be, documents should not be older than 6 months, okay? So for example, here in Switzerland, if you're moving into an apartment, you have to go to the Betreibungsamt and print out that you don't have debt. So, and this document has to be maybe, I think, I don't know, they say 1 year or 6 months old. Within 6 months of you presenting it to them. Or if you want to maybe to work in a bank, then you have to go and get maybe a certificate of good conduct where the police, this is like where the police print it out and say, okay, you've not committed a crime, or you've never been involved in a crime, you're not under investigation, such things. They always have like a time limit in this country. So you go there, they check which country you're from, then they'll ask you for this and that, and whatever you present does not have to be 6 months, older than 6 months. So for us, my husband, he's Kenyan, my husband is German, and what he needed to bring was something called Aufschrift and his Geburtsurkunde. Geburtsurkunde is like a birth certificate, but he had to get it printed out at the place of birth. So he had to get from his place of birth, from his place of birth, he had to get his a birth certificate printed, and from the Standesamt there, he had to get a document printed where it stated that he's single, or if he had been married before, that he has been divorced and he is not in a partnership, because here you can register, I think that is for like same-sex relationship, who are not married but live together, they can register as a partnership. I think that's what it is. And so he could do it. Thank God that we live in the world where we can do things online. He didn't have to go there personally. He just had to fill in a form online with all his details, and he could get this. He could apply for this online, and once they printed it out, they sent it to him per post. As for me, I also had to get a document from my country which states that okay, whether I'm single or I've been married before. If I've been married before, that I have been divorced, and I have to attach my divorce papers in it. So if you are divorced or if your husband passed away, please do attach the certificate of death or certificate of marriage, or marriage certificate that you've been, is that a certificate that you've been divorced? Anywho, all these documents have to be, it's very important that they're not older than 6 months, because the minute they are older than 6 months, they won't start the process for you. You'll have to go again and look for them. So make sure you're like, if you, once you've gone there and you have the documents out, just go and get the documents printed there the following week and just send it to them. Then you have no problem, because then you have 6 months in case the whole process takes 6 months, which I really doubt it would. Just that you're on the safe side. So after you have all the documents and you've sent them in case anything is missing, they're going to call you and they're going to get in touch with you, maybe send you an email or call you and tell you, hey, we need this, we need that, or this is missing and that. If you like, you want to get, you have a specific date that you want to get married, I would advise you to get in touch with your Standesamt or the Ziviltrauung in your region and find out when would be the most, find out first of all if these appointments are free, and then when you should start the process. I started the process at the beginning of the year because I just wanted to be sure that I have enough time to prepare everything in case they ask for things that I cannot get hold of immediately. So once they have everything and they go through everything and everything is in order, they're going to call you for an appointment. This appointment usually takes place 3 months before the date you wish to get married. And when you go on this appointment date is when you find out if your Gemeinde people are not friendly enough to tell you if the appointment was free or to book the appointment for you. On this appointment, once everything has been done, is when then you can book your you can find out if the day you wish to get married is free or not. So when they call you for this appointment as a foreigner, please do carry your passport, because without your passport they cannot move forward. Without your passport, that appointment comes to an end. Without your passport, the appointment comes to an end. They will not do anything with you or go through any paperwork with you if you don't have a passport as a foreigner. As for Swiss citizens, I think the ID is enough, and even if you have the permanent residency, because my husband and I, we have the permanent residency, we also he had to bring his passport and I had to bring my passport. It doesn't matter if you're German, if you're from Austria, if you're from Asia, if you're from the US, you have to come with your passport. As long as you're not Swiss, you have to come with your passport. Okay, so during the appointment, they're going to ask you questions. They're going to ask you questions, of course. How old are you? They can't see it. You have provided your birth certificate, or your passport, and your date of birth states there, but they're going to ask you how old are you. They're going to ask you, are you related to the person you want to get married? Are you adopted in the family where you want to get married? They're going to ask you if it's anybody forcing you to do this, those kind of questions. Then after which, they're going to ask you then the surname that we use on our wedding day, as we choose for our wedding. Does it make sense? The surname that we choose for our wedding, okay, we have to place the surname for our children. That's it. So because there are people who get married and they don't take their husband's name, so then everybody has their own, everybody remains with their own name, but then the children, maybe they have a family name, like that. That's what I'm trying to put across. So all these questions will be asked on this day, and everything is going to be filled in, and this information is very important, so you really have to think about it. If you're going to take your husband's name, one thing that you should know is are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah? Yeah? So if you're going to take your husband's name, one thing... excuse me. Whew, I need to sip some wine. So if you're going to take your husband's name, one thing you should know is that you'll have to change everything. You'll have to change the name on your passport, and then you'll have to change, before you start using this name at your bank, at work, and all this kind of stuff, you'll have to change the name on your passport so that they can change your name on your Ausweis, and after that you can start using the name officially. Otherwise, you're going to change your name, then you're going to go, then you if you're working and you're employed, your employer is going to ask you if you have changed your name at the bank. Otherwise, your loan is not going to come through, because if your employer sends the name, your loan, your salary to Mrs. Smith, and there is no Mrs. Smith at the bank, see, the money is not going to go through. So you better think through that. Or you can also take your husband's name and wait and hold on changing everything until you've gotten your passport and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. So after this appointment, after you've filled in the paperwork, after you've decided if you're taking your husband's name or if your husband is taking your name or whatever it is, after you've decided what your children's names are going to be, their surname is going to be, apropos, in Switzerland, you can, apropos surnames, in Switzerland, you can only have you can't have like two surnames. Like you cannot say Smith and Smithens together as a surname. You'll have to choose either Smith or Smithens. You'll have to choose one of them. And what is it called? Yes. Oh, come on. Yeah. You want it fell? So after you've been through all this, you filled in the paperwork, everything is good, we come down to the cost. So before I go to the cost, let me talk about a dolmetscher. For those people who maybe you're living on the German speaking side and you only speak French, or you only speak English, or if you don't understand the language, I would suggest that you come with somebody who can translate for you, or you call in advance and tell them that you'll be needing a dolmetscher to come and translate for you. If they give you a dolmetscher, it's gonna cost you. If you bring your own, well, okay. So for us, my husband and I, we paid 376 francs for the whole process. The reason we decided to have the wedding, the ceremony, at the offices of the Ziviltrauung. We had the ceremony at the offices of the Ziviltrauung, and that the cost came also, I think I don't know, it's 50 francs or something. It's not a lot of money, but the total cost was 376 francs, and this money has to be paid before the wedding day. They don't do credit, so you can yeah, so you can either pay on that day after the appointment, you can pay the amount, you can pay the cash then, or they'll send you a bill at home and then you'll have to pay it before the wedding. Yeah. So that's how much it costed, 376 francs, and that covers everything, all the certificate, the marriage certificate, international marriage certificate, everything that you will need after you get married is covered in this cost. Yeah. I'm finished, Baba. Oh, one more thing. You get to choose the length of the ceremony. If you want it very fast, 15 minutes and you're done, your wish. So, in case I forgot to mention, the ceremony, you can choose how long you want your ceremony to be. I think they can make it very short, or they can make it like 30 minutes, you know, and with a speech, and maybe you can write your vows if you want to, and yeah, you can make it a beautiful ceremony. The room is very nice. It has a little bit of flowers, and it's well, it's not like a church wedding, but it's also very nice, and yeah. So I really hope that this video has been informative and helpful. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I'm going to be answering them, and I'll catch you guys then in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.